Hi, everybody. Dr. Laura Donna here with Life Mod Solutions, your gut health educator and bloating expert. I'm here to teach you all the tips and tricks and lifestyle modifications that are going to help upgrade your health naturally. So thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about how antacid medications make bloating worse. So what are antacids? How is digestion supposed to work? And why you should avoid antacids and what you should do instead. So first, let's touch on bloating. Bloating is a condition where your belly enlarges and feels full and tight. It's often due to gas buildup. So there are many reasons for bloating and why it occurs, but today we're just going to focus on one of them, which is decreased gastric motility, meaning you have a slow digestive system. So when your digestion is slower or incomplete, think constipation. Food sits in your belly for longer than it should, and the carbohydrates and the sugars are fermented by bacteria in your gut, releasing gas. However, it should be digested by you. So we're going to talk about how to make that process better for you so that you get to the food before the gut bacteria do. So first off, we need to start with, well, what are acid blockers? These are available over the counter in your regular pharmacy aisles and as a prescription. So some things to think about: Nexium, Prilosec, Prevacid, Protonix. That's a prescription. Then you have things like Tums and Rolaids, milk of magnesia, Malox, Gaviscon, Mylanta, Pepcid, Zantac. The list goes on. Here's the problem. These medicines are extremely overused, and they're used for too long once people start them. Anytime you go to a GI doctor with any stomach complaint, this is the first thing that they put on, always. And unfortunately, these make bloating worse in the long run. So the only time that an antacid or acid blocking medication should really be used and is necessary is when you have a stomach ulcer, right? Your stomach is bleeding. You need time for that to heal. And so you would use an antacid for maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and then you're supposed to get off of it. So why do we need stomach acid to help bloating? Well, first off, we need to dive into, how does digestion work? There are 3 major organs responsible for digesting your food. The first one is your stomach. The next is your pancreas. And the next is your gallbladder. Think of it like a 3-legged stool. If you kick one of those legs out, the entire system collapses. So we're going to really focus on stomach acid. So digestion is a north to south process, meaning it starts in your brain, then your mouth, and then it goes to your stomach. But we're going to jump right to the stomach because this is what we're focusing on today. Our stomach is responsible for breaking down food mechanically, churns, and chemically. So things that you're chewing, chunks of food, get broken down by lots of chemical processes. One of the things that our stomach secretes is hydrochloric acid, okay? Our stomach pH is designed to be between 1.5 and 3. That is very acidic. So just to give you an idea, if I were to take a drop of your stomach acid and pull it out of your belly and put it onto your carpet, it would burn a hole in your carpet. That's how acidic it is supposed to be. So some people say, well, wait a minute, how is that possible? Why doesn't that break down our own tissue in our stomach? Our body's amazing. And what it does is, it's on the outside lining of your stomach, it secretes something called mucus or mucin, and it continually creates it and pushes it out. So the stomach acid never touches the membrane. It's an amazing process. So why do we need stomach acid? What is it doing in there? First off, it's appropriate for the breakdown of our proteins, absorption of particular nutrients like vitamin B and minerals, think calcium. Just to go back to that, without proper hydrochloric acid or stomach acid, you run the risk of having undigested food and the risk of nutrient deficiencies. The next thing, it kills bacteria and parasites. Think about it. The entry into our body is through our mouth. And so there are a lot of germs on everything. And so it is important that we have enough stomach acid to break down the germs that are coming into our body day in and day out. But one of the most important things stomach does is it secretes a hormone called gastrin. Gastrin stimulates gastric motility. Okay, what does that mean? It makes your stomach move along. It causes the contractions to keep everything going downward. Okay, so when you have enough stomach acid, you're releasing, you're helping to stimulate this motility. The next thing, the only way that the stomach, this food in your stomach gets moved into the next part of your digestive system, which is your small intestines, is by having a low pH, which is between 1.5 and 3. Then the little valve opens, there's a sphincter there that drops all the food into the small intestines. Now, this acidic environment, right, that 1.5 to 3 acid stimulates another hormone, so that your pancreas can then, it neutralizes all of the acid in your small intestine so that it creates a favorable environment for the enzymes to survive. Tells your pancreas, hey, you can send these guys out now. It's safe. They're going to work. Now your pancreas secretes enzymes to break down your food. In addition to that, when all of that happens, your gallbladder secretes another hormone called cholecystokinin. That hormone is responsible for telling our brain that food is in the system and sending signals that we are full. And then it also stimulates the release of bile, which is important for the breakdown of fats. It binds to toxin. And more importantly, it creates bulk in our stool so that it fills it up a little bit. And that also stimulates gastric motility, keeping things moving downward. So why are antacids a problem? Do you see the amazing things that happen in your stomach with just that process of having enough stomach acid? There is a cascade of events that has to occur, and it starts with the stomach acid. When you take an antacid medication, and it's in clinical research that a single dose of a PPI, which is your Prilosec, your Nexium, your Protonix, will change your stomach pH from 2 to more than 6. H2 blockers, which is the Pepcid and the Zantac, same thing, 5 and over. Now you're lowering your stomach pH. You're not going to release the gastrin, which is going to stimulate your motility. You're not going to move the food effectively out of your stomach and into your small intestine, so it's sitting for longer than it should. You're not going to secrete the enzymes effectively in your pancreas, from your pancreas into your small intestines, which means that you're breaking down the food. So what ends up happening is the food is now sitting in your stomach. Some of it moves through, sits in your small intestines. It's not getting pushed down, and the bacteria have a longer time to have their fun with it, and they release a lot of gas. So avoid antacids if you can. If you are taking antacid medication right now, I'm not recommending that you stop that. There is a process of coming off of them, and you should talk to your doctor if this is something that you'd like to do, which is important for digestion. So please do not stop anything. Talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist, or talk to a trusted healthcare provider who can really help you work through that, because it's going to take a couple weeks to come off of these things. If you've been taking them for longer than, I would say, a month. Now, what should you do instead? You need to work on stimulating your gastric motility. And the one thing that you can do is actually take apple cider vinegar with your meals or when you have acid reflux. A tablespoon in about a tablespoon of water is going to help increase the acidity in your belly, and that's going to help keep things moving downward. Fun fact, this is also a trick I like to do when you're nauseous. Nausea is the same thing. Things are sitting in there that shouldn't. You need to keep it moving. Try some apple cider vinegar. And if you don't have apple cider vinegar, you can use another vinegar like white vinegar, making sure you're diluting it. And you follow with a sip of plain water, because you want to wash the vinegar out of your mouth and out of your esophagus. Okay. Because that's not where acidity should be. Yeah. Guys, let me know what works for you and what you think of this video. Like, share, follow this page, because I'm going to be putting videos up very frequently. So this way you're not missing out on your bloating tips and how to improve your gut health. Have a great day.